everyone has ace.
Welcome back, episode 139 ever visited, and the very first first video. Dude, my sleep is not coming. The very first video of your request month 4, we are talking about, and also, y'all suck at voting, y'all suck at nominations, y'all suck. Period. Point blank. Period.
But
no.
the dangers in your heart was always going to be on the list.
Yes, we were always going to do that one. And your
Triggered
next
is always there.
He's getting worse by the day.
Sure. And this is, again, it's a lot going into viewer request month, especially with stuff that we may or may not have seen, and they're just like, hey, maybe we agree with this person. Not saying I do with Triggered, because I'm still getting into Chainsaw Man, but
what can you do?
Good luck with everything.
Wolf. Yeah, so the first video we are talking about is Itachi Uchiha, How Fans Misunderstand Stories by Moth's Audio and Video.
This is very interesting because you're going after fans of the series. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what the issue is. Is he just like, oh, big meatheads, they just want strong, but there's actually a deep layer to Itachi and his character and all this bullshit.
Or even that the fans misrepresent or don't even understand what Itachi's motivation was, and as such, it hurts the story overall when you've got Sasuke kind of flip-flopping. If they don't particularly understand what's going on with Itachi, they won't understand why Sasuke is doing the things he's doing, so he just kind of looks like a douchebag.
It's going to be very difficult. I'm interested in this at the very least. It's Itachi, it's Naruto. This might be a fine or whatever video. I just don't have faith in
What is the rating you think we will give it?
-9 at the highest.
7.5, baby.
9 at the highest. Okay. More than likely an 8, though.
Description, boys?
We got... Where am I?
I might as well start putting the timestamps in the videos.
April Fools. This time it's actually, I didn't upload a joke. It's more meta, I guess. Okay, so it's actual video. Okay. This was an April Fool. So it's the joke is that it's an actual video instead of okay, I got you. Yep. I was still recovering while recording this, but needed to get something out before I felt like I wasn't doing anything, so pardon the different sounding voice.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. I don't know what his voice usually sounds like, but apparently it's not this. So let's just get into it.
When I made a video about Neji, even if people disagreed with my dislike of the main Hyuga family, a lot agreed that Neji deserved better. When I made a video about Sakura, while it attracted some of her haters, most people agreed she could have been given more. With this one, though, I imagine I'm going to get a lot of pushback, or at least a lot more, so I ask that you just give it a chance. Sometimes, if the story you're telling goes...
Can I say that saying to give something a chance is kind of goofy in the beginning of the video, because just by the nature of watching the video, you're giving it a chance. So
you're
make your arguments.
On long enough, you end up retconning things. Retcon is short for retroactive continuity and essentially boils down to introducing new information that alters the information already provided by a story. People freak out about retcons, but they can make the story stronger and more coherent if they are used correctly. However, normally...
That you didn't say what happened there. What was retcon in Star Wars? You just showed Darth Vader.
Yeah, one can only assume that it was just Darth Vader is just some dude, and then George Lucas was just like, I have an idea, let's make him his father. And it doesn't really contradict anything until you just go, Obi-Wan, you said that he killed him. He's like, well, it's not entirely. It is true from a certain point of view. It's like, oh, this bush. And then the kissing of Leia. Yeah, it does create some big problems.
But explain it. And now we're doing Spider-Man 3, which is an actual retcon that I do know of. But is he going to explain what the retcon is Because some people did not watch Spider-Man 3.
It'd be helpful to explain it at all times.
About retcons as things that make a story less cohesive and more of a mess when earlier media contradicts newer media. Naruto as a story is no stranger to retcons. Some are great and some are innocuous, but a handful, in my opinion, make the story weaker overall. Naruto being ostracized by his entire community, save Iruka and Hiruzen, makes less sense if he's the son of the universally beloved 4th Hokage.
He was not ostracized. What are you talking about except for Hiruzen? That's just not true.
Oh
that was
God.
Filler. Don't
Hokage.
I'm just saying. You can't use that because that was filler.
Yes, that's fair.
So, you can't be like, hey, yo, this no. We have no information about how he was or was not ostracized. We know that the third kept tabs on him, but that's about all that we know. He still allowed him to have all that expired milk, be lazy, be not a good ninja, not trained. So you can't be like, oh, ostracized by everybody except for that. No, that's just not what happened there.
On top of that, why would the village treat him better just because he's the son of the 4th? Like, Asuma is just some dude. Sure, he's a Jonin, but he's just a Jonin. Like, there's no difference between him and Kurenai, really.
And also, I don't think that it's a retcon that the 4th was the father of Naruto.
Yeah,
because
I guess the retcon in his eyes would be, why would the village? The story is told that Naruto was ostracized, but why would he be ostracized if he's the son of the 4th? But the issue is the demon fox.
Yeah, but that's not a retcon.
No.
If you would have to establish that he did not have it in his mind to have the 4th Hokage be his dad. But when Itachi rocked up in like chapter 100 something, he was just like, I'm here for the 4th's legacy. I think they at one point in time they were like, dang, if only the 4th was here, and they cut to a picture of him and it's just Naruto without the whiskers. I can't imagine that this was not the plan the entire time. And I would need to see some evidence.
From the beginning, we're just like, oh, it'd be great if the Naruto was the son of the 4th.
Looked just
and
like
then by the time we get a little bit more into it, it's just like, oh no, he's the son. Like, fans really sussed out a lot of the information of Naruto, a lot of the plot twists and stuff. So to just go, Obito, Toby, all that stuff, oh yeah.
If Killer B is friends with Gyuki and the Cloud keeps it a secret, that makes sense. But when we see B fought Minato to a standstill and Danzo knew about B's perfect Jinchuriki status and how beneficial that was to the Cloud, it makes less sense that Konoha still decided to treat Kurama as an inherently evil monster as well as the person who he was possessing.
I disagree slightly because fear is a thing that just happens.
Yeah.
On top of that, this would Danzo's like an underground dude. He would need to be an above ground dude making decisions and going, hey village, don't fear Naruto, just be cool.
Yeah, and you have these two examples, but what other examples do you have? And this is the embodiment of hatred. The fox is just like, it's so big because it absorbed all the hatred and grew bigger and grew stronger because of all that hatred and stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to have this is the problem with the terms like retcon and stuff like this. I just don't care about retcons. Just if the story is told, well, whatever. The biggest issue with Gear 5th isn't that it's a retcon. It's just that it's bush. We don't know anything about awakenings and all this stuff. The retcons is a part of it because it's just like, well, the Gorosei should have been...
And what was always said to be the fruit and all this stuff. And it just so happens that it kind of works the same way as no.
But that's just one of those things where I'm always just like, it's a term. And people are just like, term is bad. If it's a retcon, then it's bad. And then we have to dissect it. We should just dissect it without the term at all.
But to be fair, he did say retcons can help a story. But at the same time, yes, like you said, just the term itself, like, we don't need that aspect of it.
Look at all these losers. They do. I always hate the shots like this where you just make a design for some of these people.
Yeah, some people are they're just, I am a face.
Uchiha having legitimate grievances against Konoha, while Konoha has logical reasons to distrust the Uchiha, is interesting, but retconning it to be because of magically evil blood the Uchiha have takes away a lot from the story. But perhaps the worst retcon in the story concerns Uchiha Itachi. For those unfamiliar or in need of a quick reminder, Itachi is the older brother of one of the main characters, Uchiha
Oh, I didn't
Sasuke.
know that. I forgot
At the
about
age of
that.
13, he killed every
2002
member
MK
of
is
his clan
crazy.
save himself and his younger brother. Following this, he joined the Akatsuki, an international terrorist organization aiming to usher in a new world order through mass murder and kidnapping. Eventually, he showed up to kidnap Naruto, at which point he tortured his brother some more to encourage him to build up more hatred,
Crunchyroll is
choked him,
crazy.
forces him to relive his parents' deaths over and over again,
that is
and
what
leaves him in a coma. Sasuke does take him up on this offer to become more hateful and ultimately seeks out Itachi and kills him.
Sure did happen.
After he kills him, the character Toby informs Sasuke that Itachi was actually secretly a good guy.
This is the story.
Who heroically, supposedly, killed his entire clan to save Konoha
What a hero.
Gakure from an Uchiha coup. If Itachi hadn't killed all of those soldiers and all of their civilian relatives,
Hashtag
including
Donzo.
children, they would have attacked the village and caused even more death.
Magic
supposedly.
blood.
And then it's revealed that he did so on the orders of Shimura Danzo, a megalomaniacal political advisor in direct defiance to the wishes of the Hokage.
Hashtag
And
make
then
Konoha
even
great
later, it's
again.
revealed that Toby was the one who killed all of the non-combatants. It's unclear how much of this hidden motive was planned from the beginning of the story. Certainly elements like Toby and
That does not matter. I was listening to somebody recently just like, hey, it's obvious he didn't plan this from the beginning. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Is what is told good? Is it consistent? What have you? I don't care if you spent 3 years ago started penning this out and then started working towards it, or you went 6 months ago. Hey, this sounds like a fun idea. Let me do this. I do not care.
And I believe that it was explained that Obito killed all the non-combatants in a novel, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Don't
Shut
correct me in
the
chat.
up.
It's these well, the Itachi book is very bad. That's where the whole he looked at his girlfriend and they lived out their life in an instant, and then she said thank you and her brain exploded and she died. That's how he killed his girlfriend. It's like who is this for?
It's so romantic,
This
though.
character died 15 years ago in the series. We don't need this.
Yeah, but it was romantic because they got to spend a lifetime together in an instant.
Hey, I'd like to know about like the first meeting and get together of the Inoshika-cho, how they became family, and
But this character you've never met and will never be mentioned again had their brain
It's just
explode
more
in a loving...
it's just more information about crap that we already know, as opposed to there's a lot of stuff over here that we could potentially be getting. Is Hidan, his god, Gashin, whatever his name is he even real? We see no other followers of this religion. Is he just some guy with this freaky power? We don't. Why is Kisame a shark?
Hey.
But no, we need to see this picosecond bush, Mangekyo Sharingan, living out your life bush.
Yeah, for the romance.
Who is this for?
You know there's people clapping. You know there are.
And I was obsessed with this for a little second because I have my little things that I'm obsessed with for a second. There's the novel version where that happens. The whole look at you live your life thing. And then there's the anime version, which is mostly filler, where Obito just kills her. It was like, wow, that's
What's even the point?
Who are you? Why are we dead?
plan from the beginning of the story. Certainly elements like Toby and Danzo seem unlikely to have been intended given their lack of setup in part 1, but Kishimoto admits to going through multiple ideas for Itachi before settling on what we got, most of which contained some element of Konoha being culpable in the massacre of the Uchiha. However, regardless of when it was decided, this is undeniably a retcon, as what information we had is retroactively changed by new information. Now, why do I consider this
No, I don't... Okay.
retcon so egregious?
No, okay. I need to hear what you decided a retcon was in that instance.
decided this is undeniably a retcon, as what information we had is retroactively changed by new information.
No, it's a revelation, if nothing else. It's not an established of why his motivations of doing it. Unless you want to take him as I did it just cause.
I did it for the law, sauce.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. And then it's like, well, he didn't do it for the laws. Well, that's a retcon. No. It's a revelation. He could have been lying. This is still a story, so we get drip fed things that we need when we need it.
Yeah, it wasn't like his motivation was really established of why he did it. And now we're learning, oh, this is why he did it. And you're going, well, it's a retcon because we never knew really why he did it. But now we're getting information. Yeah, no, I don't. I think you're kind of conflating the two.
Now, why do I consider this retcon so egregious, more so than the others? It doesn't have anything to do with making Konoha complicit in the act, even though that's done in a way that doesn't really make sense from a logical standpoint. It's interesting to see the supposedly good guys be permissive in the face of such open evil. Rather, it's how the narrative
Go back.
Oh my god, what are we doing with the third and Donzo and what ifs? Are you alright?
Okay.
Be permissive in the face of such open evil. Rather, it's how the narrative and the fandom specifically frame this act as either a morally and ethically correct decision, a necessary evil, or a step towards progress. And not just for the characters, but it wants the audience to feel that way as well. Despite spending a decade...
The argument could be made that it was a necessary evil. It was a step towards... Because if his whole thing was to prevent the further deaths, and they are in this just by going, hey, let's riot, and they do it, if you quell this one, it's going to happen again. So he's just like, well, I guess we just got to wipe them all out for the good of the village. You can totally see it like that.
Yeah, all things are valid if it's just discussion and speculation. Well, I shouldn't say all things because some people come up with some goofy stuff.
Thinking otherwise, Sasuke comes to see Itachi as innocent for the choice to murder his whole family. Or rather, perhaps he comes to love his brother and completely blame Konoha as the system for Itachi's actions. This change in perspective makes him want to change Konoha through force, including through the murder of all current Kage, the tailed beasts, and Naruto.
Pause.
Naruto is eventually...
That was the last 8 chapters. He was just like, I'll just kill everybody, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess that's the way the world should be built.
Hey, I see that we just unified to defeat a greater threat than any of us could individually. 100,000 ninjas did that. 50,000 of them gave their lives, but nothing changed. So I'm gonna kill everyone.
Yeah. None of you backstab the others, but I feel like you might in the future. And because of that, I think I should just wipe everybody out.
Hey, isn't that the exact reason why Itachi killed all the Uchiha? Don't you see how that...
Details.
You were doing what he did, so you should.
Why are you talking about the past? I'm talking about the
absorbing
future.
the B-juice. It's already done. I can't stop it.
I don't know why you're still talking when my sword is slick with the blood of the ninja I've already slain.
I've done it. I am a murderer, and I'm just gonna... What am I just gonna walk up back into the village and get me some ramen? No, they ain't gonna accept me, so I gotta be the villain. Everybody gotta hate me. That's my plan. Page turns. Like, wait, where's this coming from? Who are you?
The tailed beasts, and Naruto. Naruto is eventually able to beat this out of him and make him instead work as an agent of Konoha underneath Kakashi and later Naruto. Through this, he comes to a sort of terms with the whole event, having love for his brother and dedicating his life to the village that covered up the truth behind his clan's genocide. While he never says he thinks it was good that his brother killed everyone in his clan, he does sort of excuse all responsibility Itachi should have for his actions, and instead he blames the Kage.
Okay. I'm talking, the Hokage I'm talking about will bring me to my answer. Itachi lived his life to lead me to this answer. The reason why, in order to protect the country of fire and the hidden village of Konoha, he sacrificed his life and that of his own clan. First, I will find that out. Just what exactly the country and village that he went that far to protect actually are. I don't think he's kind of excusing what Itachi did. He's saying he sacrificed his life and that of his clan for this, and I need the answer as to why.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, hey, my brother did nothing wrong. Hashtag free Itachi. It's just, hey,
Free him for what?
you freed him from life. Or maybe the ninja age did. Whatever.
Because that's just a thing.
Actions, and instead he blames the Kage, 3 of whom weren't even in power at the time, and the tailed beasts, who were enslaved entities used and abused by the Kage throughout history.
Pause.
However,
But you could see it as just, this is a perpetuating system.
Yep.
Gata did not incite change. Tsunade did not incite change. This will just happen again.
On top of that, the Biju are a balance of power issue where even if I wipe out 7 of them, if 2 remains, that's just a big advantage to whoever has
They're
that.
just going to keep using them for their own means. And I'm looking at you, Naruto, and you're the strongest Moth here. So even if you're the strongest Biju, maybe 2 or 3 of them combined together, they beat you, and then they're the two or three strongest ones. So yeah, it's you could. That should be fighting for Sasuke here.
Sasuke's decision to blame individuals who had nothing to do with the massacre and take out his anger on them is honestly framed as unjust by the narrative. So his teenager reaction, though it can admittedly be annoying to watch at moments, is not dissonant with the themes of Naruto. Konoha committed an unforgivable act against the Uchiha through Itachi, so in a cycle of vengeance, Sasuke turns to punish innocent individuals like Killer Bee, the Tailed Beasts, and his childhood friends. That's not the element of the narrative that I find incoherent. Rather, my problem is with how much time the framing spends excusing and justifying Itachi's actions. After the revelation of him working under orders, every flashback, of which there are many in both the manga and the anime, includes an element that shows how heroic he is for taking on the responsibility of this task, how much he truly loves his brother deeply, how backed into
Are you gonna show any instances of this stuff?
He did show it with the parents where they were just like, "Good job,
Okay,
son."
yeah, that one. But
And he was also crying. Aww.
But even then, he didn't show it. He just showed the scene before that happened. Like, I understand he doesn't want to show it because of the clips and potential, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, you're giving these things without context. And I would have to assume this is for non-Naruto fans if he's explaining who Itachi is.
Who the knows? Hey, people who voted for this. He thinks this is bullshit. He doesn't like this Itachi. Did you know? Did you see? Did you watch? He thinks that this is not a good thing.
Every
He's just like, no, this doesn't make any sense because of all these reasons.
We try every year to tell people, watch this you're voting on.
Unless there's a turn. Unless there's something I'm misunderstanding.
Well, I guess in 13 minutes, it could happen.
corner he is, and that there are no other options. These segments ignore the fact that Itachi had multiple opportunities to improve connections between Konoha and the Uchiha, but at every turn he chose to let things escalate passively. And while if he's 13 years old and you want to play up the fact that he's being groomed by Danzo to this end, that could potentially work, the narrative never portrays him as childlike enough for this to be believable. Characters talk about how smart and cunning he is, how he thinks like a Hokage. He never struggles with his conviction.
Y'all are terrible.
Who's y'all?
The voters.
Oh, yes, of course.
We're just watching a video again. This is just like Plague of Grapes. Until he gets to something that's actually like meaty to respond to. We're 6.5 in and we've been recording for 24 minutes.
They saw Itachi misunderstood. Got it.
He never questions if what he's doing is right. He never asks for help. Yes, he's 13, but he's both
I think
in
he asked
power
Shisui
and
for
in...
help.
Yeah, that sounds
I
potential.
think he did. I'm not entirely. I think it was all already just on under wraps by the time Shisui Danzo just took him out in one of the 3 ways that he did, because the anime, there's a video game and there's a novel that have all different things, and he gets ganked by all of them. I think one of the times he gets poisoned by an Aburame clan member, which is hype, which is fun. That's
yeah. Well,
fun.
they're a myth, so of
Yeah,
course
who knows? Well, maybe he wasn't.
How did I get poisoned?
demeanor, behaving like an adult. But even as a 13-year-old that's been groomed, he still chooses to commit mass murder of innocent civilians. He shows very little remorse for his actions outside of how it hurt Sasuke, and the very moment...
Okay, what's the retcon?
He was crying.
Yeah.
He did show that remorse. That is remorse. We don't get
or
enough.
At least sadness.
All of the things that we've seen with Itachi when he's alive, it's to obfuscate that whole he did it for a good reason thing. So why would we see remorse for it? Until the moment that we do see the remorse of him crying, and when he Edo Tensei comes back alive again, it's just like, okay, we gotta go kill this snake mother. So when's the time for remorse there? I don't think this is a very fair criticism with that.
Before he kills his parents. Because
it would have been good if the AIDS that he has,
which is factually what it is, ninja AIDS.
Show me something that proves that it's not. But if it was something like a self-imposed thing, where he is slowly poisoning himself for
nice.
For repentance, and to also be like, what if Sasuke isn't strong enough? I have to at least... I can't just go full force, because he would see that I'm not going full force.
I can't just lie down and say, take my eyes.
By the time he comes to me, my 100% will be 30%. So it'll still show that I'm going all out, but I got AIDS, so this is all that I can do. So that would have been good if he did that.
Yeah.
That would have... Instead of just giving him AIDS, that would have been something. You go, oh man, Itachi felt so bad that he was in constant pain for this. Constant pain that he put himself through for all of the people that he killed, and to make you feel stronger when you actually kill him.
Is this the second or third AIDS at this point? Kimi is AIDS. Itachi AIDS. I feel like one more person had AIDS.
I feel like it too.
Maybe Kakuzu or Hidan, one of them.
AIDS. Maybe it was just those two. It's fine. That's like too many.
It's one too many at least. Because Kimi, you could at least go, I wanted your body, but you had the ninja AIDS, so you're gonna die for my...
Okay, but you have a Sanin who's super duper strong, super smart.
Yep.
You have Kabuto, who's super strong, super smart.
One of the best medical dark medical ninjutsu.
And Tsunade was like, hey, give me back my arms. You think he'd also be like, oh, there's also this dude that has AIDS. You curing that or no? I can get you to cure my man's AIDS, or can you throw me a freebie?
Is there no research for ninja AIDS?
Whatever in Kimi had, he was laid out with a cloth over his eyes and tubes all up in his
basically
butt.
an IV pumping into his system to keep him going.
So whatever he had is beyond ninja magic.
And why even keep him alive, high key? If you're Oro,
yeah, if you've given up.
Let's say he's been like that for 2 years. Are you think he's gonna magically get better at some point?
He did have a retconned relationship with what is Curse Mark's man's name?
There's so many of them.
In Sasuke's Taka team, he had Curse. He was the man that the Curse Mark came from. Jugon. whatever, Jugo. It was just like, yeah, Jugo, he's his friend. He's the only Kimi's the only person that can calm him down. Maybe it was just like, if this dude chimps out, you gotta get up out your hospital bed and give him the boner or something. I don't know.
Spit on him, give him the AIDS.
Give him the AIDS. They just always got a mask around him, no reason. It's not contagious. Well, we don't know that. We can't cure it, so don't tell me what it is or isn't.
Yeah. How did you diagnose this, and how do we get rid of it? Oh, you don't know? All right, then. Oh, it's just an unknown disease that's taking him, and you think it's not possible that it can be passed on to other people through fluids, through anything?
Come
All
on
right.
now.
All right.
And it's crazy that there are those the only two diseases in the Naruto universes that isn't curable?
Yeah, because I guess every other disease has been cured. Have we ever seen anybody with a cold in Naruto?
We did with Naruto.
I felt like that might have been filler.
Because that could just bring people back to life. Because Granny Chia was just like,
I'll give myself to... Oh, that's just a thing we can do?
I
Yes,
guess.
we all accept this is about to happen. Because this really is just a thing that's possible in Naruto.
hey, why does Gotta still have his sand? What's going on here? Well, it was his mama.
Yeah.
You said before that.
We Harry Pottered it. It wasn't that Harry was strong. It was the love of his mother that helped that. And that love now passed on to Voldemort because he took some of his blood, which allows him to survive the killing curse, but also hurt Voldemort because he was the final Horcrux. And
I
JK!
cannot wait. I cannot wait for that. If nothing else than just for the third book shenanigans.
It's so bad. That's a face. That's definitely a face.
This has to be filler.
I told you it's gotta be.
Because there's a Wikipedia article about the chakra virus.
Legit ninja.
The chakra virus is a very dangerous and rare virus that affects a person's ability to mold chakra, turning their chakra into a fever.
And because Naruto has so much chakra, of course his fever would be the biggest and the worst.
Yep, filler.
Of course. From the jump I said that shit was filler.
Somebody had to get sick.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody get sick. They've definitely been laid up in a hospital, but has nothing to do with sick. But here's a nice apple for you, Sasuke. Let me kill it.
Get that bullshit away from me! Yeah, so now they fixed mental trauma?
I guess so. I'm all better now.
She can get the bone shards out of a Moth's spine.
Yep.
What? And Neji had a hole through his lung.
Yep, no problem. Choji had the "you will die if you eat this."
No,
Hey,
but
Kiba was mixed with a dude that stabbed him from the inside.
these two people have AIDS.
Incurable, can't do shit with it.
Sorry.
I hope you weren't expecting to come into this medical tent, because we got nothing for you.
I see people sneezing, but I don't know if it's filler.
Plus, that could just be dust, which is not.
This isn't.
I don't think anybody's ever been sick in Naruto. No, I wouldn't count that.
Because that guy was always coughing.
Yeah.
Did he have AIDS?
Yeah, he might have had ninja AIDS, and then he died.
Before they could take him.
Yeah, before the AIDS could take hold.
I guess, man. I guess. All right.
And for all we know, he could have had like a collapsed lung or something. He could only have one lung, and that could be the reason for coughing. Has nothing. There's only 2 illnesses, and they kill you.
Actions outside of how it hurt Sasuke, and the very moment before he kills his parents, because according to this narrative, this is what needed to happen. Never mind the fact that Hiruzen wanted to come to a peace treaty and Itachi worked super quick to make sure that would never happen. Never mind the fact that there are multiple alternate universes in this continuity, some by Kishimoto, others filler, where the massacre does not occur and it does not end in the destruction of Konoha. Never mind that Itachi shows on multiple occasions.
Well, you would have to be like, oh, he can see into the future, or he trusts the process well enough to be like, the easiest way, the 100% way that no Uchiha can ever kill anybody again is that they all die. I can see the thought process of that. If it's a 1% chance that one of these Uchiha turns into a Madara and kills the whole village, well, we just f***ed up. Again, I don't want to be sweeping for these mobs, but I can understand his thought process of this has to go
This
down.
is the
like
only
this.
way.
Or this is the
Because you say, I'm sorry to cut you off. You say, they were trying to broker a peace treaty, but so did the Konoha and the Moth that tried to take the Hyuga child. They had a whole peace treaty.
And then they just went, nah.
No, or you can give yourself up and keep this peace treaty going. You tried to break in and take our eyes.
So
a peace treaty is a piece of paper. Konoha and the Sand Village had it until Oro was just like, nah, war.
Because all it takes is just one half-formed Susanoo, and you can't shadow possession that. So it's taking out 50% of the village, and all that takes is, oh no, my brother died and I got real sad.
A person needs that.
You yourself have a non-extinguishing, ever-burning fire. You could burn the village easily.
And they could never put it out.
Never. So, these things are a bit of a problem.
That he is far more powerful than Danzo, and that Danzo fears to move against him, except for in this one singular moment, apparently.
But there's also the political aspect of that. Itachi is more powerful, but that's you can't just be like, hey, I'm just gonna kill you. No, it's because he's got the whole Anbu behind him, and then he's just like, all right, Anbu, kill all the and then the war and the massacre starts all over again. You don't want to just kill the person and just go up. That solves the problem, because that's just not what it is.
No, according to the story, Itachi did what must be done, and while Sasuke rightfully blames Konoha for this, neither he nor the framing of the narrative ever consider that Itachi had other options that he just didn't choose.
But you're not laying out the other options. You said, they were brokering a peace treaty, but again, that's just a piece of paper and an agreement. It's literally a handshake of, hey, we're not going to attack each other. But all it takes is 4 mothers going, nah, this is bullshit, let's attack them, and that's broken.
Yeah, and then those 4 months get killed, and then the Uchiha just goes, why'd you kill our people? Like, well, they rose up against us.
And then you go, oh, this alternate universe stuff, but anything could have happened within that alternate universe. It may have been things happening before the Uchiha massacre that allowed this whole time of peace. We don't know.
Sasuke's dad, who was one of the people behind it, could have just been a completely different person because of completely different circumstances. It's not just they get up until this moment and then it branches off.
It could have branched off from the time Sasuke was born. His father could have got hurt on a mission and he just went, well, I'm just going to be a peaceful gardener at home now.
I don't think it's very fair to just be like, there's all these possibilities in these alternate worlds that Itachi could have done when Itachi does not know those alternate universes.
Yes. And we're not privy to all the information of those alternate universes to go, well, if Itachi just did not do this, then everything would have still been cool.
And isn't that kind of just like, hey, man, you working at a Burger King, but you're pretty tall. You could have been a basketball player.
Well, no. I don't have the skill, the talent, the drive, the respiration.
I could have been, but
I'm not.
It didn't turn out like that. I needed money right here and now, and that's why I'm here right
Or
now.
my knee blew out, or my elbow blew out, and I can't do basketball thing. You do not know all the information. All you're seeing is a universe where I was a basketball player and a universe where I'm working at a Burger King. And you're going, well, why didn't you just become a basketball player?
It could have worked out. Well, it could not have worked out.
As you see.
But even if we say he was a groomed child soldier and deserves empathy, what happens after his massacre is incongruent with what the framing tells us Itachi is. Supposedly, Itachi is working as a spy for the Konoha, trying to take down the Akatsuki from within. Except throughout his time in the Akatsuki, we see him murder multiple people, mind control innocent civilians to put them in dangerous situations, abduct and enslave tailed beasts, and never feed any information back to Konoha. If he's a spy, he's the worst spy ever. Not to mention
100% bullish.
It's a bad story.
Yes.
That's Kishimoto is a hack fraud.
Yes.
There's no other need to be thinking that deep about it.
He specifically traumatizes Sasuke intentionally, urging him to destroy his own life and any chance at happiness to become a stronger fighter. But supposedly he's doing this all out of...
Yeah, that just does not make much sense for him to be like, I want Sasuke to grow up to be happy, so I'm going to foster hate within him for 15 years.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, you don't hate enough. Like, what?
Well, he has to be strong enough to maintain the happiness, and the only way to do that is if he's a man that has no other goal but to murder me, even if it means abandoning his friends and family.
But he just goes, hey, come back when you have eyes like I have. So, and he also just goes, you don't have enough hate, so you should need to foster that hate. Does he think that he has friends at this point to kill in order to get the eyes?
Maybe because Itachi brought Naruto there. Oh.
Yeah, they weren't hanging out. Naruto was just in a room. What does he know about Sasuke's life?
His brother that he supposedly loves with all his heart so very, very much and deeply.
Again, this would have been a small changes like Sasuke got a big house, and it's just like, how is he paying for this? And then he's like, well, we got a fund. You just go, well, it's all the slain Uchiha life insurance or whatever. But it is just like, no, Itachi is just funneling back his money over to Sasuke.
Yeah. Keeping him fed and clothed and all that stuff. Private lessons for training, whatever.
But then we have to just be like, wait, why isn't there a ninja Uchiha fund that his daddy and his mama left him money? Where does that money go?
Itachi, they funnels it back to Sasuke.
Where did Minato and Kushina's money go?
What? They were broke. What do you mean?
They couldn't have been.
Is there a rich ninja?
They go on a lot of missions, and the missions do earn money.
Yes.
And what are your
First, what's your cut of that profit?
I'm gonna 70-30.
70 to the person, 30 to the
Yes.
village. That sounds crazy, but okay.
But what are your expenses as a ninja? How much does a kunai cost?
Hey, you
It's
gotta buy a
solid
lot
metal.
of bombs.
Do you?
Yeah.
Does
Those-
Kakashi need bombs?
Those tree logs don't pay for themselves. I gotta substitute.
I mean, they do grow on trees, I guess. Yeah, I can't imagine there's too much overhead for a ninja.
But at the same time, I've never seen a ninja live extravagantly where they just bought like a super expensive like outfit or kunai or like a solid gold kunai just because they could.
But that would have to mean that there would have to be a character that is very arrogant and ego driven like that they need to show off their lavish things.
Sure. Eno could have been that.
They could have been, but
That's what I mean. Like, is there a rich ninja?
I'm sure there is. But
Just some foppy, hey, I got the thing, the 7 rings of the Uga clan.
well, sure, I guess that means something.
Yeah, nobody else has these. They're 1 for 1.
A fee for an A rank mission is between 150,000 and 1,000,000 Rio for an S rank. It's a minimum of 1,000,000 Rio.
Okay, what's the conversion of Rio to yen? I'm looking at
that right now. No, are you kidding me? Come on now, don't do this to me.
Nah, I do exactly this.
I'm gonna burn it to the ground. This in Wikipedia page.
Hey, how about a nice ad though?
You want to buy this, don't you?
Hey, have you seen this new anime? All right.
Asuma has a bounty of 35 million.
What's that mean?
It means something. They're just talking about bounties and fillers. Somebody buy an apple. Are you kidding me? The basic economics of the Narutoverse is a Reddit article.
Okay.
The currency used in the Narutoverse is called Rio. 1 Rio is equal to 10 Japanese yen. Where are you getting this information from?
Maybe a data book somewhere.
You don't explain this. Oh, Kishimoto had no clue when he said that 1 Rio equals 10 yen. So Kishimoto said it. But this dude is just going, it makes no sense for that to be.
So 1,000,000 Rio would be 100 million yen, which would be 10 million yen, which would be $100,000. Traveling in 3 weeks for 70K. Oh, are medical ninja paid?
I don't see how they couldn't be.
Or is it no? I mean, like, does Rock Lee's family have to pay for his surgery, or is it like universal basic healthcare or universal healthcare where the money they bring in helps pay for the medical aspect of it? If we were just gonna talk about Naruto, y'all could have just asked for it because reasons. Kiddo, it's a wrap. It's a Rizzy Riz.
Yeah, this person just going, it makes 0 sense for it to equal that. But we have nothing.
Beautiful. That's what I like to hear.
This is crazy.
Is it though?
Kishimoto. This is another Bleach thing where we don't know what the money is.
And stop talking about the fish.
Keep talking about the fish.
There can't be fish.
His great love for him. For these 2 reasons, I really think Itachi as a good guy was a very late addition to the story. Yes, I know Kishimoto.
No, he could have been an early addition, and Kishimoto could be a bad writer. Both of those things. Oh, you don't know what's going on in alternate universes. It didn't. Kishimoto can just suck. It's very possible.
Kishimoto claims he had this planned, but just as much was changed elsewhere. Itachi as a secret agent makes no sense with what we see in Part 2, and Itachi as a loving brother makes no sense with what we see in Part 1. I find this to be inconsistent characterization and nonsense.
Yes, okay, Kishimoto can suck. Can that not be possible? Can he not be a bad writer? Can he not have penned a character that he wanted to do something with, but is so inept that he could not bring it to fruition? Is this not possible?
It's 100% possible.
Unbelievable.
Can I just say Minato went on 39 S-rank missions, and that's not including whatever a Hokage makes just for being a Hokage, just like a president.
Yep, so 390 yen, so about $3.9 million.
Where's that? And that's just the S ranks. He
Yeah,
went on
it's a minimum.
323 A rank missions.
Hey, you gotta split it though with everybody else that goes with you.
Unless he went by himself.
Which is possible. He is the Flash.
It makes no sense, and we're not talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
We know how much an orange costs in One Piece.
Yeah.
We know how much a ship costs.
I've seen what Sanji buy fish.
We've seen this. These motherfuckers can't buy an apple.
Hey,
Come on.
this is blah, blah, blah. That's an outrageous price. Also, I guess that piece of clothing should not cost 100,000 berries.
Storytelling, but I also find it quite distasteful. To portray the genocidaire as having emotional complexity and multiple factors contributing to his evil is one thing, but to show him as having a heart of gold and suggesting he's the true hero of the story, willing to do the right thing, and that right thing is to kill an entire ethnic group, is something else entirely.
Oh, I think you're reading a little bit too much into that. I don't know if the story portrays him as having a heart of gold or doing what was necessary, what he felt was necessary based on his upbringing.
Yeah, that's what it always is. He is, as long as he is doing what he feels is necessary. That's.
I apologize. I am missing a very important Lions game for this, so.
Oh, we're about to be done. Don't worry.
It's difficult to truly say for certain what a writer wants you to think about their characters without them outright telling you what they want you to think.
Yep.
I can list moments that make it look like Itachi should be forgiven and understood, or moments that try to portray his actions as righteous and necessary.
Please do.
But I can't find any direct quotes from Kishimoto about how he viewed Itachi as the final project, save that he was a good guy, which could be enough to extrapolate that he wanted audience members to view the genocide as acceptable or correct, or at the very least forgivable, but I think that might be supposition. Perhaps he just meant that in the end Itachi was on the same side as the good guys. Whatever he means though, it's a toss-up, and you could potentially...
Yes, that's the way analyzing media works. So there is
interpretation.
Outside of hard, true, factual answers based on a person, it is literally just the speculation of whoever's speaking at the moment. And we've spoken out about people just going, oh, this is what it means. But that's strictly because they're acting like that is the fact of the situation. And so we ask, hey, did an author say that? Where'd you get that from? Because if it's just from your mind, it should not be presented as a fact of what's happening in the story.
Because you're well within your right to just be like, yes, I know that you're presenting all this stuff that says that Itachi is a good person, and no, he's not. You're well within your right because he did kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
Good or bad, it's a trolley problem. And
it's the exact opposite. You could just say, hey, this is a very bad person, and another person can go, well, I disagree.
I'm not gonna be like, hey, you for saying Itachi was a good or bad person.
So did
Explain
the
your
fans
reasonings.
misunderstand, or is there different interpretations based on what you believe the story is trying to convey?
Yes, I think that's what it is.
Actually read it either way. However, what isn't supposition is the fan response to Itachi. Around the world, Itachi is the second most popular character, and the most popular character in Asia outside of Japan.
Pause.
Well,
Because he is a strong, cool guy.
Yes.
He is a big brother type, which a lot of people seem to very much like, as if we're taking One Piece into this. Sabo and Ace are very popular.
Yep. And he's misunderstood bad boy with a heart of gold, quote unquote.
And he is conventionally attractive.
So
what can you say is a negative about Itachi? He's not like headstrong or anything. He is logical in all of his actions. Yeah, there's
based on his logic at least.
There's no character trait where you just go, I dislike this dude, other than what you're supposed to dislike him for like mind crushing Sasuke and things like that. But people could just
his
be like
actions.
You can be like, hey yo, Sasuke.
Yep. Hey yo, Sasuke. I mean, but also Itachi, but hey, Sasuke.
And it could also be for the fact of, no, I understand why he did this thing, and he's taking the burden of all this stuff, and he's shouldering it, and he's...
I don't agree with it, but I do understand it.
It could also be that. It's a litany of reasons.
A potential litany of reasons.
Potential.
Again, I mostly hear discussion on Naruto through US American websites. At the very least, it seems in this country that Itachi is viewed largely as redeemable, if not a redeemed character. It's a common sentiment among many Naruto fans that Itachi was the true hero for what he did.
Because if you don't, he's not doing it in malice. He's not going, I've killed and I'll kill again.
Thank you very much.
You can't stop me. I'm here for this muffin kid Naruto. Even though he was there for that muff kid Naruto. But it was for whatever reasons why he was in the Akatsuki. Whatever. We could talk about that. But the whole genocide thing is he thought he was doing it for a good reason. He regretted it. He didn't do it again. When push comes to shove, he is fighting for the world by getting Obito to Kabuto. Why are they Kabuto Obito? Kabuto to undo the Edo Tensei. He's fighting for again, and by saving the world, he does save Konoha. Yep. But he's not going. I'm gonna save Konoha, and I'm gonna undo the Edo Tensei, and then I'm gonna kill all the Kage, and then absorb all the Biju within myself, and be the symbol of hatred or whatever the.
He took on the burden of hatred, and in doing so, saved the village and his brother. He, if the fandom is to be believed, bears no responsibility.
But if you look at it like that, he took on the burden. He saved the village. He saved his brother. He did these things.
At the same time, you say the fandom as a collective, but what you're really speaking of is a handful of people within the fandom.
Itachi fans.
So, like, with video games, there is a subsect that just cry woke. But that's not all gamers.
Rightfully so.
Otherwise, these quote-unquote woke games wouldn't be selling as much. It's literally just, hey, this is a subsect of the community. And I don't like what they're saying, I guess.
For the deaths he caused, and should be considered a hero through and through. With a simple search online.
No, they're stupid. He shouldn't be considered a hero.
And I would like to see these people who are just like, he did nothing wrong. He's a hero through and through. I would like to see these people. Because you will find those people. You always find these people. But
how?
The state of you.
It's a flappy paper.
But you will find those people, absolutely. But you need to look at it as a whole. You need to look at more people. Are they more people just going, I like him because he's got the cool eye and he did the thing with the village or kill some babies, whatever. Who hasn't killed? Who amongst us?
Yeah. First stone, I say.
But, I would like to see these people because these sound like the diehard fans of Itachi.
Yeah.
Who were just like, nah, everything was justified and he was manipulated and he's a sweet little baby boy.
And if that's the case, do you think you're gonna convince those people to go, hey, wait a minute, Itachi kinda sucks?
Because you're just presenting information that is within the manga. They have this information. Mm-hmm. So what makes you
to ignore it?
Yeah, why would Jay listen to you over the manga when they already have this information? You're just putting it in another way.
You can find hundreds, if not thousands, of Itachi fans singing his praises.
Yeah, Itachi fans are going to sing the praises of Itachi.
Sasuke fans are going to sing the praises of Sasuke, and he was killing in samurai. I don't think he killed any of those samurai.
He wanted to kill Naruto.
He definitely wanted to.
Him as a similar figurehead as Rorschach or the Punisher, as a character.
Hey, who are these people? I don't know these people. Who are these people?
Bad for the greater good. And hundreds of Punisher stories, but all of them bad for the greater good.
Who is willing to really get dirty and do what they need to do to make the perfect world for everybody else. This line of thinking falls flat on two grounds: ethical standards and media literacy.
The ethics is based on the person. There's no worldwide ethical scale of which to judge anything on, really. It's really up to the individual. Because even living in America, my morals are not in tune with the populace of America. I can only go by my personal morals.
People might have think that it's morally right or funny to kill that CEO man of
United Health.
Yeah. But then there's other people like, yeah, he killed some guy.
That's a tragedy. I don't know why we're making fun of it. There's a guy that was joking about black women. I forget the comedian's name at this point. And Kendrick made a song and he said, "Don't allow comedians to speak on black women. That's law." White comedians. And the dude went on the podcast and just was like, "Yeah, I'll rape Kendrick." And there's people like, "Well, it's just a joke. Why are you?" And other people are like, "Why would you joke about this?" And other people are going, "That's not a joke. Like, he said something horrible." So there's so many places on the spectrum of morality and ethics. Don't just say, "Oh, the ethics," because again, it's only by your ethics.
The most obvious one is media literacy. I know that's kind of a buzzword, so perhaps I should instead
Two
say
words.
the ability to correctly read the story. Throughout the
that's very loaded as saying this is the correct way to read the story.
It comes off as pretentious.
Yes.
The way I'm consuming this media is the correct way in which to consume and read the media. Because you yourself said in this very video that if somebody were to present evidence of Itachi being a bad guy that's irredeemable, you would accept it. But if people were to go, "Hey, he was a good guy based on this evidence," you would also accept that because it's all a toss-up and there's no real place. So what is the correct way to read it? And based on what you presented in this video and what I believe you're going to go for later on in this video, it has to be that you think it's the bad guy aspect of it. And is that the correct way to look at it?
Unless his thing is 70-30. You can't just be all 100% he did nothing wrong. It's just like the split of the missions, 70-30. As established.
Poetry.
Yeah, it's all coming back into the beginning. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
This
was our retcon.
But yeah, if that's where he's going, it's just like, yeah, sure.
narrative, we see time and time again that this cycle of violence is unending and only leads to more suffering. So even though Kishimoto may want to portray Itachi as a good person, he certainly doesn't want to portray the massacre as a good action. And to his credit, he does not. Furthermore, with the existence of alternate timelines as well as just regular common sense, we know that other actions could have been taken that Itachi...
Whoa! Common sense and alternate timelines. That's a crazy bar. Yes, other actions could have been taken, but would it be the exact same thing? Would it lead to the exact same outcome? This is something I really hate, and I'm talking about sports, of course. This is something I really hate in like football, where they'll say, "Oh, they lost by 2 points. If they would have just kicked the field goal here, they would have won." But if they kick that field goal and make it or miss it, the entire game changes because everybody is not doing the exact same actions they would have been. It's a completely different game at that point now. So just to go, "Oh, because of alternate timelines and quote unquote common sense, we know what could have happened or what would have happened." Could not even could have. It would have happened. You can't.
Yeah, that's kind of bullish to just like, yeah, he could have taken a different path. Yes, he absolutely could have. But this is a 13-year-old boy. These people, he is kneeling here. He's subservient to them. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, well, this could work. They could accept the treaty, or they could not and just Susanoo out.
He ignored or outright refused. Lastly,
did we get knocked out?
Knocked out?
Yeah, must have.
Don't worry, keep playing. What happened?
Please do.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, we got pulled out, ladies. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't affect the audio in any way.
Know that other actions could have been taken that Itachi ignored or outright refused. Lastly, we know that Itachi's actions did not save lives, not only because the coup wouldn't necessarily lead to war, but also because
it wouldn't necessarily lead to war, but you have no actual evidence of that. You're just going, in alternate timelines, it didn't. But what about alternate timelines where it did? Yes. We don't get to see those. We're only privy to the one that they want to show us. But it could have been a horrific outcome if he didn't. That's just as possible.
Because he would go on to support the deadliest terrorist organization in that fictional world's history. But in terms of ethical standards, I think it's pretty...
That should be his big point of contention. Mm-hmm. Why did he do that? Because by absorbing the Biju, you are going to destroy the world. So doesn't that go counter to what you're doing? Because
attempting to do.
Because they were what? 6 months down by the time Shippuden came up? That's a lot of time for Itachi to be like, oh, what's my next play?
Sending Morse code ravens. Send something, please.
You got the 3 tails. I'm absorbing this month as we speak. Like, okay, so what was his plan there? He's not screwing up the absorption stuff. So it takes 8 years longer or anything. He's just going through with it. That should be your big sticking point, because I've not heard anybody go against that as to why is he with the organization that is absorbing Gata, because he was on that finger absorbing that muff.
Obvious to almost anybody, genocide is wrong. Of course, saying that, there's always somebody who tries to disagree, whatever, just for the sake of argument. So to be clear, while you can, I suppose, debate the ethics of killing in war or the assassination of individuals planning massive violent acts, the show itself demonstrates how despicable the targeting of civilians is, as we can see in the backstory of characters like Pain. Though later material removes Itachi's direct hand in the deaths of all the children and non-shinobi adults of the Uchiha, he is still assisting Tobi in this genocide and supports him, as well as concealing his identity from anybody that could possibly stop him, essentially making him free to do whatever he wants. Thankfully, I believe very few people actually think of the murder of innocents as acceptable, and those who do will not be swayed by anything I say here. But in this case, as is sadly the case with lots of anime fandoms, fans have decided crimes against humanity and infanticide are justified losses in the grand scheme of things when we look at fiction, which, again, you can think whatever you want about fiction, but if you're not reading the story as the story was written, you're kind of missing out on the whole point of a story.
But they are. They're just going, I accept what Itachi did. That is the story as it's written. Here are all the facts laid out. How do you feel about this? Well, I feel that Itachi was justified in what he did. That is a perfectly logical reading of the story.
Why are you an analysis YouTuber if you're not just going to read the story as it was written and instead extrapolate your own beliefs of what the story represents based on what the story is? Oh, I guess because he's doing it the correct way.
Ironically, the Itachi fans who believe this end up falling for exactly the same rhetoric Itachi did, believing that Danzo was right in the decision to forego any attempts at peaceful negotiation because that Uchiha gene, that evil blood, just couldn't be trusted.
I mean, they got the evil blood. They do. They just did. They don't say they don't. They got brain juice that makes their chakra stronger when they get sad. The second Hokage said this, and Sasuke standing there with them hatred eyes was not like, now wait a second, that's not what it is. He was just like,
is that how it works? Like that.
He's like,
word?
Oh, okay. That's why I get stronger the more I get sad and hating. Who do you think this second Hokage has been fighting these for all his life? Who you think knows more about them? He's sliced open in Uchiha. A couple
Or
Uchihas. We all accept this. It's what happens. You need to study them. And therefore he went, oh, if I poke this muff, he gets angry and them eyes get redder and he gets stronger. I see what's going on here. And then he put forth that and ain't nobody said 8 muffs in that room. Oro, all the Hokage, Sasuke, all the Taka, ain't not one of them said that's not how it works. Cause it is. So they do got the hatred eyes. Don't say they don't. So if the one mouth is just
blood.
like, I want to get stronger. How do I get stronger? Oh, wait a second. When that cow knocked me over last week, I got real strong. Is it hatred? Let's try this out. They kill their mama, Big Eyes, Big Susano village done in one night. What we doing?
Not even one night, like an hour and a half.
One average mother.
In a sea of like 30 of them, 100 of them, 200 of them.
Who is a average Uchiha? We got in Shisui, who's amazing. We got Kakashi. Half of that eye is amazing.
Technically, you can look at Sasuke as a mediocre Uchiha. And he was amazing.
He's the best Genin. Rock Lee, but then again, he would have destroyed Rock Lee.
His father was just like, you're not good enough. Itachi was whooping up on these mugs. What is you doing? That little fireball? You ain't ready.
And then,
oh, you throwing them little kuna? I see you. You missed 3 of 4? Wow, son.
Not my son. But 5 years later, he busts out that same fireball, and Kakashi's like, you shouldn't be able to do that. So, Naruto rocks up on the rooftop, a small encased space with 100 Narutos, and this mob burns them all. This is one dude
that just unlocked his Sharingan like 2 months ago. He's like 10 weeks removed from getting it.
2 years of training with Oro. He was about to kill a Biju, Sakura who can heal, and an Anbu Jonin. Oro had to be like, don't do that. They can help us kill the Akatsuki. Don't kill them here and now,
please,
as you were about to do. Because I know you can do it. And you know you can do it. And they know you can do it. In terms of the audience. And the audience know that you can do it. But don't do it. 2 years. No Mangekyo Sharingan.
18 months.
One person. Who was thought to be trash.
Yeah, by his own father. Just like, you ain't the one.
This ain't Shisui of the Flicker or whatever his name is. This isn't Anbu captain at 13 Itachi. This is a Genin at age 11. Not even a Chunin. Goes off into the forest, comes back, Jonin killer. Killing, big injuring, all these samurai. Rocks up to the Hokage meeting. He was about to kill, they were about to take each other out, Killer B. Yeah. Killer B and him were about to, not Killer B, A. They were about to take each other out because he's just like, oh, I'll just Susano your leg off. He's like, all right, cool. So long as I take your head off. Gata couldn't beat him. Because Gata was just like, hey, don't be all hatred. And Sasuke was just like, no.
Ooh, I better not go over there or I'll finish. I'm cooked.
It's just like, oh my god, I need more sand. I can't fight. I'm sorry, I'm gathering sand.
Well, 1 second. Grind.
I know the rock man just like, I could just crush some rocks for you for saying, no, that's not how it works.
No, I gotta do it myself. Are they done fighting?
I need to import sand from the village. A stronger sand. You wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand. I mean, it's a saying that we say in the Sand Village. It's very...
Which I'm not from.
Yeah, it comes from, the first Kage Kaze. Let me tell you about his backstory. They done fighting? No? Okay, so, his name was Sandman.
And he was a Sandman.
It's a whole thing. I can explain that.
Yeah,
as
we've
well.
heard the jokes. Yes.
Yeah, Frosty the Snowman. Yeah, we made that, but then cultural appropriation took that and made it snow instead of sand because that's more better for the children. I'm not gonna get into that.
You think Enter Sandman just popped into that musician's head one day? No, he saw the Sandman walk in and he went,
my hatred can't be quelled. I'll kill you all. And so the sand, the
Sandman. Children tell fables.
kill you all. I will absorb all the Bijou, and I will. My hatred will never be quenched.
I was once a
Naruto,
Bijou, and they
Kakashi,
took it from
Sasuke,
me,
Sakura,
and I
all
tried
of
my
them.
best.
I'll kill
to
you
get-
all, and I will rule them.
What was his point?
I don't. Something about these months is bums and.
Oh, they're not. They are bums, I guess, or whatever.
This theme of the story is certainly undercut
What?
by-
What? You can't press play on that. That's a crazy.
be trusted. This theme of the story is certainly undercut by the introduction of the so-called Curse of Hatred, a Mark of Cain-like attribute banded about as the late-game explanation for the behavior of the Uchiha, but the prejudices that were in place that caused the discrimination against individuals with magical eyes are shown throughout the story, and they are not explained away by the introduction of this curse.
Pause.
By framing the mask...
No, but they did have hatred eyes. You can't take that away from them. And the Moth that was just like round him up and put him over there, he recognized that.
Occur as a heroic action saving the leaf, the fandom ignores part of the narrative. They ignore the systemic hatred that led to these moments. And to be
Pause.
fair, in some
The systemic hatred did not cause the hatred eyes.
No.
You can say that they make them grow stronger, but they weren't just like, hey, we're being discriminated against. Hatred eyes. No, it was always there.
ways, Kishimoto also downplayed this towards the end of his writings, but he never took away the fact that this was not a good action, or the fact that this was something that haunted the people who it affected. However,
Facts based on what? Are you going to present evidence of the fact that it haunted the people that were part of it? I don't know if it haunted Danzo.
I mean, it factually haunted Sasuke.
Yeah, sure. Itachi, maybe the third Hokage. Danzo's pretty cool. Pretty smooth. What's up?
Oh, I heard you got yelling.
Yeah, because we're recording.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no. Why would we just be yelling weirdly, Chris?
Y'all acting like y'all don't be yelling downstairs.
I be hearing y'all yelling. You need
Yeah,
some-
silence.
Yeah, all
What
right.
happened to all that yelling?
I'm like, damn, what the hell happened?
Yeah, you heard. Okay, so you heard 15 seconds of yelling and went, I gotta go check them.
No, we're frequent. I'm like, yell, no yell. Yell?
Yeah, okay, we're recording.
I don't know you record today.
Well, if it's yell, no yell, don't you think you're like, oh, they're just this is fine. It's
Hey,
not like,
you
hey, I'm
didn't
not being stabbed. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not.
You didn't think to knock or anything? You just came right the in?
Whoa, you gotta have the gate bucks in?
We could have been?
If you're
Yell.
worried enough to be like, oh, what's going on in there? But
Yell, no yell, yell, no yell. That sounds like a potential.
My bad.
All right, then.
I guess I'm the bad guy.
Yes, you are, Itachi. You wouldn't get that.
not yet.
I wouldn't.
think a few small changes would honestly make for a much better story.
Sure.
Just
Yeah, you can say that for practically any story in the world that is at least longer than a story in and of itself, like a movie.
Including this one.
Yep.
Like we have been doing here, like with the sickness.
8, sir.
With the AIDS. Sorry, let's call it what it is.
Just like with Sakura and Neji. I can see it working in one of three ways. Firstly, by playing up the elements of the story.
He's just about to rewrite Naruto. Why are we here for another 6 minutes?
Rewind Naruto.
by which we see the discrimination against the Uchiha, we can understand Itachi's actions as self-loathing and internalized prejudice. To do this, you could introduce Danzo in the first half of the story as an influential and respected member of Konoha, building him up to actually have a presence and slowly reveal his part in orchestrating the massacre, rather than making him a shadowy figure that appears out of nowhere in the 11th hour to excuse Itachi pretty much after he's already died. I hate to mention Star Wars again, but consider how Palpatine manipulates Anakin in the prequels. Show him slowly turn Itachi against his own family.
Okay, but we didn't see that in the initial Star Wars story.
Yes. You say show Danzo slowly turning him, but that's all just flashbacks that we can see. So the slowly turning will not be slowly turning. It'll just be what we're allowed to see. It'll be 3 scenes of, hey, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. Oh,
and convince him that he's not like those other Uchiha. He's a good soldier to his country.
No, to the cross, he walk around like Kakashi.
I can't join in on this because
You non-Kendrick, you non-rap.
That's all I got. That's all.
You did good, knowing that much at least. You knew the beat.
His bloodline. This would, of course, take a darker route, but honestly, if we're looking at a 13-year-old killing his entire family and ethnic group, how else are you supposed to deal with this if not darkly? And this would be more congruent than the supposedly out-of-options Itachi, who is secretly a sweet soul that never expressed any remorse for his many murders, only regretting hurting Sasuke, which he did repeatedly even when he didn't need to. In this version, the colonial mentality Itachi feels would cause him to still report to Danzo instead of Hiruzen after leaving the village, as a sort of agent for that evil side of Konoha. In this way, he would still believe he was doing what he thought was best for his country, and he wouldn't just be randomly under Danzo's thumb for one single moment in his life. Or, you could keep most things the same, but don't have Sasuke immediately forgive Itachi when he finds...
Yep. What's that supposed to mean?
And wasn't Itachi captain of the Anbu?
Yeah, what's that
so
supposed
it
to
wasn't
mean?
Just for one moment.
No, I don't know what you're.
And this is again, this Itachi is not just some sweet little baby. Yeah. He is a murderer.
Yep.
They go, hey, kill these muffs, S-rank mission. You think he's oh man? No, it is. You do this. It's a mission. It's a job, just like killing all the Uchiha.
Out the truth, as well as just remove the nonsense about Itachi joining the Akatsuki as a spy for Hiruzen, since he never fed any decent information back to Konoha, and he actively participated in the murder of at least 2 fish.
I can see that. What you got something else for me?
Yeah.
He a puppet. Oh, okay.
He's already dead. I don't know what you.
Oh no. Oh no. I got more.
That guy molds clay. He's dead too.
It's like in Harry Potter. It's just like, oh, that guy's a Death Eater. Yeah, we caught him. Oh, he's a Death Eater too. Yeah, he was under the previous curse. Barty Crouch.
Barty Crouch Jr.
No, it was Barty Crouch Jr.
God, that series.
Junior. Barty Crouch. What, bro? Barty Crouch Junior.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Dude, it's gonna be so fun. I was listening back to the 6th book. Dude,
I was listening to that recently.
It's so good.
Dude, the slug horror memory is fantastic. Wait a second.
Oh boy.
I swear it. He's refilling wine. Dude, it's such a horrible series.
Why don't you just walk up and stab me, Draco? That would have been better than the necklace.
I personally wouldn't do this, but maybe you can put it in a drink or something. And just hope this fat dude gets it, re-gets it.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this. Bush!
Yeah, it's a real bad series.
And the enslavement of at least 2 tailed beasts, we really have no reason to believe that he should be a spy. He can have a reason for participating in the Uchiha genocide as a groomed child, but let this damage him in a way so that he doesn't fully recover mentally. Rather than being constantly in control of every situation, he can show that this action he felt he had to take has made him insecure,
But an aspect of PTSD can be a detachment from your reality or your situation or your surrounding to where you emotionally close yourself off to not be vulnerable again, which very much seems like an Itachi character.
Sure.
paranoid about betrayal and wildly defensive. You can keep these insecurities behind the screen, make it seem like he's in control for a lot of the story, but start to slowly reveal that no, he has been hurt a lot. This way we can have empathy
In what
for
way?
him. And
You can't just like slowly reveal it. Slowly reveal it in what way? He's standing in a kitchen and then he hears something. He's just like, he burns whoever's behind him and it's just a squirrel.
He wakes up screaming in the middle of the night from the nightmares of having to commit that act.
Well, he's shaking hands. What are you talking about? Slowly reveal it. That's one of these things like, oh, the story could be better. How could it be better? By being better.
still blame Konoha without excusing or understanding why he committed genocide as correct or right. If you want to keep the heroic Itachi angle, but somehow still want to include the genocide, you need to do some much bigger changes.
How would PTSD make him heroic? How would coming to grips and just going, oh my god, I'm so mentally affected by what I did, make him heroic?
Because this whole thing was, Sasuke is going to kill me and be a hero. He's dying for the greater good.
Yeah,
just like he killed for the greater good.
Just like, and then Sasuke warps that mentality of trying to kill for the greater good. But his greater good is, hey, everybody hates me, and that's what keeps y'all together.
Play out how young he is. He's not really drawn as a 13-year-old, and he's certainly not written as one. And honestly, I think Kishimoto could really do with not writing Itachi as the smartest character of any situation that he's in, who never shows weakness or uncertainty, and as a result, it feels like Danzo basically just has to ask him nicely, or not even really that nicely, to kill his entire ethnic group, and he's like, okay. Anyway.
Hey, it's almost like Kishimoto is a bad writer, and that's the issue.
Yes.
Whatever. If you show a more vulnerable side, he can be a victim as well.
Okay, he can be a victim, but he's not a hero. You mentioned him. If you want to have this heroic, he wouldn't be a hero.
This wouldn't mean that he isn't guilty in the actions, but in showing elements like pain and compunction, we could actually see the potential for how Itachi could have become a better person in different circumstances. Then actually have him attempt
But again, this is all taking away from the whole, this needs to be a mystery as to why he did these things. You're going, he rocks up and he's just like, oh, no. All of this stuff needs to happen and the big reveal is, oh, he did it for a good reason.
On top of that, dang, he just said something and I forgot what it was. Let me go back.
a better person in different circumstances.
Oh, okay.
Then,
yep, that's what I was looking for. Him feeling really sad and traumatized by what he did wouldn't necessarily make him a better person in another instance or in a future instance. It just means I committed a horrible act and I feel horrible about it. And I will not genocide again, but we move on with just murdering these people.
What do you want from this? Does he turn himself in to the police? Or,
but careful, I got ninja AIDS.
Don't touch me. Gloves or masks.
Actually have him attempt to atone in some ways, truly spying on the Akatsuki and sending information back to Hiruzen and Jiraiya after Hiruzen passes. And
why would he have to atone for something he thinks he did right?
Yeah, that's yeah.
messages to Sasuke to explain things after his death instead of trying to
then Sasuke becomes
him through Naruto's mouth crow. If you haven't seen Naruto, that would sound really weird. Basically, there are these magical eyeballs, and he got...
No way he's doing this.
In the last 2 minutes.
Who is this video for?
The last 2 minutes of this month explaining Sharingans. Hey, yo!
a magical eyeball from a relative of his, and he put it inside of a bird, and then he put that bird
Wasn't a
inside of
relative.
his little brother's
But,
best friend's stomach, except for
the correct
they
way
weren't
to
really
do it.
best friends at the time. And then he wanted that bird to come out of Naruto's mouth and then mind control his little brother, and then but because his little brother didn't take his eyeballs, then it didn't work. So he ended up mind controlling himself when he came back as a zombie.
No.
It's-
He did. It would have worked, but Naruto had not seen Sasuke yet. It was just whoever. Whenever you see Itachi's eyes, because Itachi's like, he's gonna take my eyes. Whenever you whenever you see Itachi's eyes, that's when you pop out and just go, mind control. But the first thing that he saw was, in fact, Itachi's eyes.
It's a weird show. If it's okay. Anyways, you can still have Toby manipulate Sasuke into his worldview through half-truths and obfuscation, but that would honestly work well as a thematic parallel to how Itachi was groomed into evil as well.
Yeah,
Then,
agreed.
when he's reincarnated in the war arc, he can
Reincarnated.
finally try to give
I
his
was
brother
stargazing.
some genuine advice and actually discuss with him how this cycle of hatred, that is apparently a main theme of this series, has harmed him, and how he took actions to try to...
I can't believe he's going, the correct way to assess or to read the story. And then going, which is supposedly one of the main themes of the stories, when themes themselves are an assessment and not strictly what's on the page.
Crazy.
to help those he could after he did something that he couldn't forgive himself for. Then we, as the audience, can start to see him sympathetically and
Hey, some members of the audience didn't need that, which is
Yeah.
why you made this video.
Yeah, here's the sympathetic part right here.
Hey, even if he was sympathetic, I still wouldn't like the bastard. Itachi, Sasuke, half of Naruto, really?
Have.
Sasuke.
I mean, a lot are just like, you're here. Choji's here. I don't feel
Not part one butterfly Choji.
Okay, that part is bad, but it's like, it's thumb in the middle leaning towards down. That's not enough for me to go Choji.
It can as well. In all, I don't think Itachi is an inherently poorly written character, but much like Sakura and Neji, the interesting ideas are great, but not fully fleshed out to allow for an exploration of the deeper themes of the narrative.
Hey! Kishimoto!
Yeah.
Bad!
Maybe he's just a bad writer.
And with a little reworking, you could make a character that's both wildly popular and not a character that says genocide is sometimes a necessity. So,
Hey, you can make a character that's popular and still think that genocide is a necessity. Those don't need to be mutually or inexclusive, I guess.
It shouldn't just be your mind is just like genocide bad 100% of the time. No justifiable thing. You shouldn't be liked at all.
Especially after he's going, read the story for the story, but this is the story that they're giving us. This was a justified genocide.
And you can't say that it's not a justifiable thing. It may not be justifiable to you, but
Morality.
why? The dishes.
Oh, that's fair.
It's always around this time because it's one of the last things I do before bed. I'm gonna set that for about 15 minutes from now because I'm just gonna go in there and go to bed and then forget about it.
They didn't have to do them tomorrow.
Yep. I've cottoned on to your game, past DA.
You shan't be screwing me over.
what do you think? Is this how you would rewrite Itachi? Do you think
No,
Itachi-
that's how you would.
Yeah.
And some of the ideas are fine, and other ones is just like, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
She needs to be rewritten at all? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for being patient for me as I have been sick and super busy and alternating between those two over the last several months. Hopefully, I will have some more time for recording, but I can't promise that. However, those of you who have stuck around on this channel, I really do appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care, everyone.
What, like a -4?
Yeah, that wasn't very good. Yeah, it was like average. I'd say a 5.
This is just like, yeah, I do agree. Yeah, it's just even a negative.
Oh, it's definitely a negative. He misconstrued quite a bit,
Sure.
and
the whole you're reading it wrong.
Yeah, there are aspects of this to where
like
you
a
can't.
-4.
I'd say a 5. Yep. Hey, what a great start,
boy!
Hey,
who needs to watch videos before voting for them? Not me, says person clicking on this video.
We are gonna be working overtime. This was an overtime revisited. We're in tangents and all this that has nothing to do with the video. We're gonna be triple somersaulting trying to get a 4.
Perfect. Boy, people sure did just see Itachi and voted.
Yep. Misunderstood.
Could not be me, huh?
Could not be me.
Crazy how that works. Crazy how that Plague of Rice video wasn't a shining example of, hey, maybe we should watch this video in order to get something good out of it.
And you think after a year they would have learned something.
You would think.
And yet here we are.
Yeah,
hey,
like we never left.
Hey, Synthetic Man was fun last year. Let's run it back. Oh, y'all have no interest in Zelda?
Well, now you do.
Well, you better
get it.
Hop to it.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Hey, and guess what? Saturday! Hero of Z.
Somehow. Some way.
Hero of Z.
How?
It's gonna be what it is. Yeah. And I hope y'all enjoy. I
better not see that muff and view count drop a single person. Cause this what y'all wanted. And y'all gonna
what's
get what
the
y'all
minimum?
wanted.
What's the minimum view count we should have? Because there's gonna be some people that have nothing to do with Goku T23 or us. They'll check it out for like 4 minutes and then they'll drop off. It better be 30 at all times. The second I see a 28, I'm going. I'm DSPing it, guys. Hey guys, now guys, the views. You guys wanted this. You voted for it. How about some support?
Where you at?
Yeah, this is gonna be big ugly, y'all. Big ugly. But hey, it looks like the Lions are about to score again, so they're about to go up 14 or 17-7 in the half.
Oh,
and
thank goodness.
That's good. That's good. My Detroit Lions. Detroit football, because our basketball team is awful. Yeah, I guess we're out of here. I guess we're out of here. That's episode 1 of Viewer Request Month 4.
These viewer request months shouldn't count towards our overall in numbers.
What?
This is a shame.
Like YouTube, pause our views.
Yeah, this is not episode 139.
Yeah.
Nah, this is not episode 139.
So we just come back a month later, like episode.
We're running it back. This is just like DSP. We're pausing the streak. Because we can do that.
And then all these trolls, they're crying. Oh, the streak ended. Oh, because he paused and it's actually over. Get felt it, trolls. Hey. That DSP stream will be fun. What's gonna be the fun videos here? We're gonna have DSP triggered, of course. Aspects of Hero of Z are gonna be fun.
Edge Runner, who knows how that's gonna happen. Cringiest romance ever. That's gonna be interesting because I like that manga.
I do too. I really like the manga. I don't like what they're doing recently, where they're just kind of on the cover. This doesn't even matter. On the cover, they're just kind of showing her in skimpy outfits, and it's like, this girl is like 13. Can we not do this, Japan, please?
What is good writing? That can get into the mindset of the dude. Rewriting GT, come on now.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well,
we will do what we do because that's all that we can do and that's all we ever will do.
And we're great at that, I guess.
And again, we're just gonna show you You vote for this.
Yep. Oh, we're not going forward on that Hero of Z.
This is what y'all wanted.
It's-
Hey, the people that cheated and voted for this 30 times, I hope you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
And I hope you'll get what you want on Saturday. And the following Saturday. And the following Saturday.
And then we get what we want.
And then we get what we want. And that'll be the good episode.
Yep. Alright, we should do a ranking of the viewer request month. Either videos we've done or the viewer request month themselves.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But that's a few.
But they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Not after this.
What do they deserve?
I dropped my phone.
That was a perfect time for a wee woo.
I dropped my phone. I wasn't in the right mind. I was looking for who nominated this, and they weren't in the Discord, so they must have been in the comments. So I was just like, I was gonna name and shame, but I can't do that right now.
Yeah, we'll name and shame Saturday.
Cool.
In fact, after every video, we're gonna name and shame. If we feel like that video was not worth it, we're gonna name and shame.
Can we cut their points in half?
Absolutely, sir.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, whatever you want.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I'll take away all their points. I don't
great.
care.
Oh, try better next time.
Yeah.
Get scammed, idiot. You gonna make us go sit through this? TTS, not today.
Can you do a drop? Nope.
I'm calling the police. They gonna be like, wee woo. Hit the button. You weren't paying attention in Lions.